Today, we are going to be solving the #1 most annoying thing about living in a school bus. Do you know what it is? I know what it is. It's mosquitoes. When we first moved into the bus, we came to California, beginning of the summer, and it was hot, and so we rolled down all the windows because we wanted to get the breeze moving. Like in a bus, you can literally have a cross breeze through the whole thing. So we popped the windows down, but with the breeze came the flies and the mosquitoes and the moths. Oh, the moths are disgusting. And we didn't have any screens for the door or for the windows, and it was awful. And so I've got like 1,000 mosquito bites, and there's like dead moths all over the place in here. And so I finally figured out a solution to the problem. Let's do it. All right, before I show you the solution, let me show you kind of the other things we tried before coming up with what we're actually going to do. So this is like a fly be gone thing. It's just like a screen that velcros onto this little stuff here, and you're supposed to just stick it on, and it actually holds pretty well. It's nice for like a temporary solution, but I don't really like how it looks. It's kind of flimsy, but it was nice to kind of like put up before we came up with our final solution. And it's also super cheap, like $7 on Amazon. I'll put a link to it below. For our door, we got, well, I actually had this. It's like a sari from India, and we just pinned it up around the door, and it actually works. It kind of looks good. It's obviously has gaps in the side so bugs can get in, but we pinned it as tight as we could, and it works okay. For our door, we did this cool little magnetic screen thing, and it just sticks to the side with Velcro, and it's super nice. I really like this. It's a little short. Got like 3 inches of non-covered space, but it works pretty well. So this is nice. Highly recommend it. It's like $20 on Amazon. Also, man, you can just buy this right now. That's awesome. This here was our first attempt at making a screen. This is just screen material with magnets on it, and it works okay, but you've got this huge gap underneath where the bugs can come in, so it actually doesn't work at all. So this is not the solution to your problem. All right, enough about what not to do. This is not a video about how to not solve the problem of bugs in your bus. So here's our solution. A regular window screen, just like everyone else. You can put this in your house, your bus, your RV, your shed, whatever. This is just a regular window screen. So I'm gonna show you guys how we made this screen right now. Got your screen frame, and all this stuff, again, I got on Amazon. Got these little pull tabs for popping the screen in. Got these little springy springs for helping them stay in a little better. And then you buy these corner pieces for the screen. You need your actual screen material. One of these little rolly things for shoving the spline in. A blade, my saw, this thing, and a clamp, and a measuring tape. All right, the first step is to measure and cut, and this was actually the hardest part for me because I was just trying to get so close, but now that I have a screen that actually fits, I'm just gonna measure off of that. And what you want is to get it to just barely fit in to that window, because you've got big old grooves in the bus windows, and so you just want to get it to fit. You also have to calculate for the corners because they're about 1/2 inch also. So There's some math to do, there's some measuring to do, a little bit of trial and error, and just cut it long and then cut it shorter later. That's what I did. There we go, 23 3/8, 9 5/8. Now it's time to cut. Got my hacksaw, and it helps a lot if you clamp this baby down to keep it from wobbling around like crazy. And I like to cut with the spline up, because when I was cutting with the spline down, the spline would pop out and it would be all messy and weird. And so this is just an easy way to cut. And there's probably a better way to cut a straight line, but I'm just doing my best. All right, after I get them all cut, I'm gonna use my little sander downer to kind of get the edges so I don't have like a deadly screen weapon with all these sharp edges. And it'll help to like flatten it out, because you can see I didn't cut it super straight. All right, our screens are all cut. Now it's time to put these babies together. We got these little elbow brackets, and it's a pretty simple process from here. All right, once the frame is built, it's time to spline the screen. And if you've never splined a screen before, I don't know if that's what it's called, but it sounds cool. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's not as hard as it sounds. But first you gotta get the spline out, and I used a fork to pull mine out. Pretty easy. Forgot to say, if you want these little springy things on them, you have to put them on before you build the frame. So let's do that right now. You just slide right in the end like that. Easy peasy. If you're doing these little pull tabs, you got to put those in before you put the screen in also, and they just sit right in kind of that spline channel right there. All right, now you are ready to put your screen on. Just place it kind of where you like it. I already cut mine. It just goes, I left some excess to make sure it would all fit well. And then you get your spline, and then you stick it in the channel, and then you use your spline tool to roll it in. I had a little bit of excess spline up here. Once you roll it out, it kind of squishes out. So I'll just cut that at the end. The first two ones are the easiest, and then the next two you kind of have to pull the screen to make sure it's a little bit tight, but not too tight, because the spline actually shoves it in and creates quite a bit of tension. My last screen kind of has a bow to it because I pulled it too tight. But this might be nice to have two people to help with this part, but if you just use one hand and then have a third hand, and then you can shove the spline in. After you get your spline all rolled in, all you have to do is cut the excess of the screen and the spline, and then you're good to go. But I forgot to mention, you really want to test the frame out in your window before you put the whole screen on and everything to make sure it fits. Because if you do all this and then it doesn't fit, you're gonna be sad. But I was pretty confident that it's gonna fit, so hopefully this one fits. I think all the windows are the same, so yeah, just cut it up and then test it out. Fork comes in handy here again to poke in that last little corner. For cutting the screen, you just put your blade at kind of a 45, and then just slide it along as best you can. All right, here it is. Very own screen that can fit in any size window that you want. So let's try it out. Let's tear out that old nasty fly Z screen thing. See if this fits. Wish me luck. All right, there it is, not bad. Do you feel that? It's a breeze going through the bus. That's nice, that's nice. All right, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked it, you can like it. If you want to see more, you can subscribe. Also, if you try this out, if you do this yourself in your bus or whatever, send me a picture of it on Instagram. We're at Cola Ventures on Instagram. I'd love to see how you guys are using these tutorials, if you're using them or if you're just watching them for entertainment. But if you do it, show me. I'd love to see it. Give you a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.